You ever walk by the desk of that one super smart person you know, and it's just a total disaster zone? It feels like it shouldn't make sense, right? Well, today we're going to unravel that paradox and show you why what looks like laziness might actually be a sign of a brain working at peak efficiency. I mean, we've all seen it. That creative genius or brilliant programmer whose workspace looks like a small hurricane just ripped through. You see a mountain of papers, a graveyard of coffee mugs, and your first thought is probably, how do they get anything done in that chaos? But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if that mess isn't a flaw? What if it's actually a clue? A sign of a powerful mind that's just laser focused on what really counts. All right, so to really get into this, we first have to bust a huge myth. It's one we've all been taught since we were kids, the myth of the clean desk. It's this idea that's just so baked into our culture. Yeah, you know the saying, a tidy desk means a tidy mind? We're conditioned to see a neat, organized space and think, wow, that person has it all together. But here's the twist. Psychology tells us a very different story. It suggests that a messy desk doesn't necessarily mean a messy mind. In fact, it can be the physical footprint of a brain that is incredibly busy organizing ideas, which are way more complex than just stacking papers neatly. So how is that even possible? Well, the whole explanation really comes down to this fascinating idea in psychology. It's called selective organization. Okay, so what is selective organization? Think of your brain as a super efficient, kind of ruthless CEO. It knows it only has so much energy and attention to go around, so it's constantly making these tough calls. Am I going to spend my precious brain power organizing these files on my desk, or am I going to use it to solve this massive problem that's been bugging me all week? For a highly focused mind, that's a no-brainer. Tidying just gets pushed way down the to-do list. And that's really the heart of it. The physical mess isn't the goal, it's just a side effect. The real priority here is maintaining that deep, intense mental focus. That person isn't choosing to be messy. They're choosing to pour all their energy into a much more important mental battle. Which brings us to the big why behind all of this. Why does the brain even bother with this whole selective organization thing? Well, it all comes down to one crucial resource: conserving mental energy. So picture your brain's energy for the day like the battery on your phone. Every single decision you make, from what you're going to have for breakfast to how you're going to tackle a huge project, drains that battery a tiny bit. Mental efficiency is basically your brain's built-in, ultra-smart power-saving mode. It actively avoids wasting juice on tasks it sees as trivial, so it has plenty left for the really heavy lifting. So what does this actually look like second by second? It's like a constant, super fast triage process happening in your head, totally subconsciously. Your brain sees a task, say clean the desk. It instantly calculates the energy it would cost. Then it weighs that cost against the big ticket items like finish this report or crack that code. And in less than a second, tidying is labeled trivial and gets ignored, which frees up all that precious mental fuel for what really matters. So now that we have these two big ideas, selective organization and mental efficiency, we can go all the way back to that messy desk and see it in a completely different way. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It completely flips the script. The chaos you see on the outside isn't a reflection of mental chaos. No, it's often the direct result of intense order on the inside. It's the physical proof that a mind is so deeply buried in structuring thoughts and building new ideas that it literally has no brain power left over for a low-level task like tidying up. So here's the bottom line. The next time you see a cluttered workspace, whether it's yours or someone else's, just take a second before you judge. What you're seeing might not be laziness at all. It could be the signature of a highly optimized mind that knows exactly where its energy is best spent. It's a great reminder that the most important kind of organization happens between your ears, not on your desk. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Your own habits, your own workspace. They're not random. They're telling a story about what you prioritize. So take a look around you right now. What is your brain really focused on?